Hello everyone, this is Miss Jenna. I just wanted to give you a little introduction before the actual video of our wildlife rehabilitator starts, just to give you a little bit of background information before we get to meet Kathy Woods. So what is wildlife rehabilitation? What that is basically a wildlife rehabilitator is a vet or an animal doctor that specifically takes care of wild animals in the hopes of releasing them back into the wild. So that's, for example, if someone finds a baby bird and the mother's not around and it's a little baby and it can't be taken care of, you would take that to a wildlife rehabilitator. They would raise it and grow it up following very specific protocols so that the baby can then be released back into the wild. Or something like maybe a possum got hit on the road and it has a broken leg. So then you would take that to the wildlife rehabilitator and they would work on fixing the broken leg again in the hopes that it would heal up nicely and they could then be released back out into the wild. So different wildlife rehabilitators take care of different animals. Some can take care of any animal that you bring them. They can take care of mammals, they can take care of reptiles or birds or anything like that, which is Kathy. She can take care of almost any animal that you bring her, including animals that could carry rabies. Other rehabilitators only focus on mammals, others do not take rabies species, and others only focus on reptiles. So it's very important to figure out who you want to take your animal to that needs attention and needs help. It's also important to know that a wildlife rehabilitator is not a place for you to just drop off your pet that you don't want anymore. They're specifically taking care of wild animals that are supposed to be outside, living in the wild, living on their own, and then they take those animals, again, fix them up to then be released. Now, what happens though if an animal can't get fixed up, where maybe it's missing an eye now, maybe it can't fly, or it's injured in some other way? Or it's an imprint, meaning that it was raised by people when it shouldn't have been and it didn't learn how to be an actual wild animal. What happens then is the rehabber is working with a veterinarian and they will come up with, they deem it non-releasable. And what that means is that animal is unable to function anymore out in the wild. Well, then what happens to the animal? Well, that's where we come in as Irvine Nature Center, and also a lot of other nature centers are locations where those animals then, they need a home, but they can't go back out into the wild. And so we provide them a home and an area for them to live. We take care of them, and then they become our animal ambassadors, meaning that they become our teachers. They help us to educate you guys and all sorts of other people about why a turtle or a snake or a possum or a hawk is super important for the environment and what you can do to help keep the wild animals in the wild, right? So Kathy Woods is the main person, the creator and everything at Phoenix Wildlife Center, and she takes care of a lot of animals. And she is a nonprofit, same as Irvine is, meaning she only makes money based on donations, okay? So that means that she's able to take care of all of her animals because people help to donate money in order to take care of animals, right? Because animals cost money. They got to be fed, they have to have different medicine and things like that to make them feel better. So thankfully, there are a lot of people that are very thankful for what Kathy and other rehabbers do, and they donate some of their money in order to still have rehabbers out there that are allowing our animals to get back out into the wild where they belong. So Kathy is going to answer a couple of questions that I had for her today and kind of show you some of the animals that she's been taking care of and that are soon going to be released. We're getting into the summer. We just got out of the spring, which is baby season. So be ready for some cuteness because there are a couple of really cute animals that she's taking care of. And so that's always fun, and you'll get to see them. And you'll also get to see a really cool emergency care that happened when someone dropped off a bird. So stay tuned. We're gonna cut right to Kathy. Thanks so much.
Hi there, my name is Kathy. I run the Phoenix Wildlife Center with a bunch of devoted volunteers. This is our baby room. As you can see, we have lots of babies here. Jenna is holding the camera around. We have in this incubator, we have a baby tree swallow, we have baby bluebirds, and we have baby finches, all brought to us by concerned citizens. And in the next incubator, we have 2 little green herons that were brought to us after their mom was actually injured by a big crow. And if you look around the room, we have squirrels that we've raised since they were eensy weensy. These squirrels. And then we have baby groundhogs that unfortunately were, their mom was trapped and taken away. And then we raised the baby groundhogs. And last but not least, we have possums. And possums basically stick with their mommy as she's walking around, but sometimes she drops one of them and they fall off their back, but she doesn't know it. She keeps going, and then people find them and bring them to us.
So, how did you get into the position that you're at being a wildlife rehabber? Was there schooling, or what did you do to even start doing this?
Well, I actually used to work at a hospital called Johns Hopkins, and one day when I was home from work, I found 2 baby robins, and I couldn't find anybody to take care of them. So I decided that I would learn how to take care of them. So when I left my job at Hopkins, we opened up the Phoenix Wildlife Center, and we've been doing that ever since. So if you want to learn how to do this, there's lots and lots and lots of books out there and classes, and you can look at our website, phoenixwildlife.org, if you find an injured or orphaned animal. This is a little starling that was just brought to us. He probably tried to fledge his nest, but unfortunately his mama put all this garbage in his nest, and now it's wrapped around his leg, and he's clutching onto it because he can't get himself undone. So we are actually going to take all this garbage off his wing so that he can heal and fly again.
So, besides the animals that you've shown us today, what other animals come into the rehab center that you take care of?
Well, anything that's orphaned or injured, like upstairs in our special room, we have baby raccoons and baby foxes, and sometimes we even get baby skunks, but we keep them separate from the other animals. And then in that building up on top of the hill, we have what's called a raptor muse, and that's where we keep injured and orphaned birds of prey, like hawks and owls and even bald eagles.
Thank you again so much to Kathy of Phoenix Wildlife Center. If you want to learn more about all of her work that she does, make sure to check out her website and look into all the cute little other baby animals that she has and all the animals that she helps to take care of. Also, just wanted to remind everyone that if you do find injured or orphaned wildlife, please, please, please be very, very careful when you go to pick up the animal in order to put it into a box or a transport container of some sort to take it to your local rehabber. Some animals can have different germs, can have different diseases. All animals can bite or scratch or different things like that. So be sure that you are protected. You want to make sure that you're wearing gloves and that you are an adult that is with you to help you, or that an adult only is picking up the animal to put it into a container to take it. It's also important that once you put the animal in whatever box you're going to be transporting it, that you leave it in the box. Don't keep opening up the box to see how cute it is, because I know, very, very cute, but you don't want to stress out the animal. You want to make sure that it's in a nice, quiet, dark place. It can be a little bit warm, things like that, but otherwise you also don't want to feed it anything. You can actually make the animal really sick if you feed it something that it shouldn't be eating. So make sure you just carefully put it into a box, and then make sure that you call the rehabber first so that they know to expect you, especially now with different protocols and everything like that. So make sure you call. They'll give you any other information that you might need to know before bringing the animal out, and then they'll also be ready for you and your animal, and they'll be prepared to take care of it as well. Also, please remember that Irvine and also other nature centers are not rehabilitation facilities. So unfortunately, you guys know that I take care of the animals here at Irvine. I'm not a vet though, and I'm not a rehabber, so I don't have all the different medical supplies and things like that to be able to take care of any of the animals. And most nature centers do not have those capabilities either. You actually need a special permit to be able to do rehabilitation as well. Now, if you do have something and you're unsure of where to take it, be sure to give me or a nature center a call, and we'll find a local rehabber that's close by for you that you can either drop it off, or under some circumstances, we can also take the animal to the rehabber for you too. So thanks again for joining us, and I am going to leave you guys with some cute videos of all the baby animals. Bye!